I watch brilliant people fail, and that's not because they didn't work hard enough, not that they were not smart enough, not that they didn't have the right sort of ideas in their head, but when it mattered the most, they couldn't communicate the right thing at the right moment. And today, I need to tell you something from 2021 when I realized that your ideas, your hard work, your expertise means absolutely nothing if you don't know how to communicate it with the world. Hi, my name is Sarangajit Bora, and I help people with the public speaking and communication skills, and I have been doing it for more than 4 years now. Now, let me take you back to 2021. That was my final year of my master's program. So, months of hard work coming down to one single presentation. You well know the pressure, right? So I and my classmates had been working really hard, grinding really hard with our ideas, with our research and everything to bring out our final project work before the presentation day. The day arrives, we were all ready, so as we thought, and the presentation got started. We all went in, and one by one, everyone stood up there in the dais to present their presentation. And on the other side of the room, there were professors sitting, asking questions, taking notes, and trying to understand what we were talking about. And here is what I started noticing. There were students in the room, and I'm talking about some of the hard-working people I knew, whose project work has been incredible, well researched. They had poured their heart and soul in their work. They were not lazy students, but when they stood up to present, they couldn't break out of their shells. They would stand there reading from their notes, speaking to the slides rather than speaking to professors, using technical jargons, not explaining why it mattered, and rushing through the most important parts of their project. Their presence was small, they were quite apologetic as they stood there. I was sitting there noticing, and it was really heartbreaking to me because I've seen them working really hard, and I knew how brilliant their ideas were. But the professors, they only knew what they saw and heard at that moment. And what they saw was someone who was not confident in their own work. And what they heard was information without any impact. Meanwhile, there were some other students. And I'll be honest with you, some of their projects were not even strong. But they communicated their ideas well. They spoke with clarity. They made eye contact with the professors and the students sitting in the room. Some of them even told a story about their work and their experience working on the project. While professors asked them questions, they answered pretty confidently. And you know what? Those students got better response, better engagement, better questions. And that day changed how I see communication forever. Because I realized something that I need you to understand right now. Your ideas, your knowledge, your hard work means nothing if you can't communicate what you know to the world. It's like they don't exist. Think about it. You could be the most knowledgeable person in the room. You could have the best solution for the biggest problem. Or you have an idea that could change everything. But if you can't communicate it from your end and put it right into their heads, you might as well know nothing at all. See, here is the reality. The world doesn't reward the best idea. It rewards the best communicated idea. Job interview, they're not hiring someone who is way more qualified on paper. They're selecting someone who can articulate their values well. Again, client pitches, they're not buying the best solution. They're buying the solution they could understand and trust. Leadership opportunities. People don't go to a person who knows the most. They go to a person who can inspire, explain, and influence. And this is why mastering communication at this point in time is not an option. It's not something that is good to have. It's must. Because communication is a bridge between what you know and what they understand. It's a bridge between your hard work and recognition. And it's a bridge between your potential and impact. Well, the students whom I saw struggle, they deserve better. They deserve to have their work seen and valued. But they didn't have the communication skills to make it happen. And I don't want that to be you. So here is what I want you to take away from this. First of all, stop treating communication as something that you'll figure later in your life. It is not something different and separate from your expertise. It is how your expertise gets into the world. Secondly, understand that being nervous and introverted isn't the problem. The problem is not having a proper system and a framework to practice your speaking. And finally, start now. You don't need to be the greatest speaker overnight. You just need to commit to getting better. one conversation at a time, one presentation at a time, one video at a time. Just start practicing. Because I promise you, the gap between where you are and where you want to be, a huge part of the gap is communication. See, your ideas matter, your work matters, you matter. But only if people can hear you. So let's make sure that they can.